$5,000 for posters, $1,500 for buttons.
Which ones?
The ones that say vote for a change, Dave Phillips.
Right. You know, I like that play on words. Vote for a change or vote for a change.
What about advertising on radio and TV?
Yeah, radio maybe. I don't think we can do TV, not with our current budget.
But we need it, Harold.
Sure, but how? The few $1,000s we got left's got to go for newspaper ads. I guess maybe if we can get some more contributions, like the ones we got from the Responsible Citizens Group or the Medical Consumer Medical Lobby, then we can consider it.
Speaking of the Consumers Medical Lobby, how much of their funds have we spent so far?
$4,568.
I wish we hadn't done that, at least until we've had a chance to talk to them.
Well, why in the world not? They're in your corner. Bart Kemp, who heads up the group, was anxious to get rolling. I gave him the go-ahead.
For this?
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
Why?
I don't like this, Harold. I don't like this at all.
What, Vanessa came to see you?
Yes, this
Why?
morning.
Why was she up?
Oh. She said she wanted to make sure I knew who was responsible for what was going to happen to your hand. Ben, why didn't you tell me that she warned you?
Because I didn't want you to worry. I tried to put it out of my head, and I was successful until right before the operation. Oh, Laurie, I just can't believe that I gave in to her suggestion. I can't believe I'm this weak.
Ben, listen, I think it's more than just a suggestion. I think that there are evil forces working here.
Class canceled, kiddo. Professor Linvall's wife's having a baby. Oh, no, not you again.
You got a problem?
Yeah, your friend Tina. Class was canceled, but I thought I'd wait here, you know? Waste her once and for all.
I was hoping she'd be here, too.
Figures. What, do you want to botch things up for me again with your juvenile heroics?
You're the one who walks around pretending to be James Bond, but I'm juvenile?
007, Jack. Don't you forget it.
Wouldn't think of it, Mr. Bond.
So where is she?
Well, if I knew that, I wouldn't be waiting here with you.
She really outfoxed me this time, you know? She doesn't show up for class. I never see her around the huddle anymore, and how she gets in and out of her dorm room, well, that's a good one.
Well, maybe she's not into playing your game anymore.
Tina Brubaker? Are you kidding me? She's been runner-up the last 2 years in a row. She's not going to quit Deadly Pursuit until she kills me.
Well, look, you can bet you're not going to be able to shoot her while I'm around, so why don't you just go play your little game somewhere else, huh?
How do I know she didn't send you in here to set me up, huh? How do I know she's not waiting out there by that door?
Look, you're going to find out one way or another. But believe me, Tina is not into playing Deadly Pursuit anymore.
Yeah, sure. And Howard Cosell's not into sportscasting anymore. You must really think I'm stupid, huh?
As a matter of fact, I think... No. Forget it.
Now, go on. I can take it.
Look, Tina is pregnant, okay? So now do you understand why she doesn't want to play your stupid game anymore?
Well, then how come she hasn't officially dropped out?
Because maybe she has more important things to do now.
Nah, I don't buy it.
You better buy it. And you better stop sneaking around with this stupid gun. Because if you sneak up on her and scare her like you did last time when she sprained her ankle, she could very well lose this baby. Now, how do you feel about that?
Terrible, if it were true. But I'd feel even worse if I believed you and set myself up so she could blow me away. Hey, you know, if she's really pregnant, she's going to officially have to drop out. Until then, you tell her to stay on her toes because this game's not over. Until one of us kills each other.
Gosh, Dave, what's the problem?
Right here. This reference that I was a pro-choice advocate and that I once ran an abortion clinic.
Yeah, well, that kind of bothered me a little bit, too. But you got to look at it in context.
Yes, but don't they know where I stand on the abortion issue now?
Look, I sent a bio over there on you, and I told them about your work with the Chesterfield Free Clinic. But I didn't say anything at all about any abortion clinic.
Yes, but they obviously knew about it. What about my position paper?
The one on abortion wasn't ready when I talked to Kemp.
Yes, but this makes it seem like I still endorse abortions.
I don't think it does.
Well, I think it does. I mean, why was this published until we had a chance to talk to them in D.C.?
I don't know, Dave. They jumped the gun. I guess they figured that you wanted their support, so they wanted to get the exposure.
Yes, but this is exactly the kind of exposure that we don't want.
Settle down, Dave. We can work it out.
Look, I cannot be supported by any group that applauded my abortion work in the past.
I understand that, Dave, but I think you're overreacting just a little bit.
Overreacting? No, not when it concerns this issue. I can't accept any money from this group.
Dave, you're trying to get elected. You're trying to run a campaign. Campaigns run on two things. They run on support and they run on money. Now, this organization is giving you support and money to get your campaign rolling. It's as simple as that.
Yes, but isn't there some way I can divorce myself from this pro-choice implication? Pro-choice. Some media man's brainchild. Isn't it amazing that now they don't call it abortion or murder? It's now called pro-choice. As if it was the right of any woman to take the life of her child. That's disgusting.
Dave, the Consumers Medical Lobby is not an abortion lobby. I wish you'd quit trying to make it sound like they are.
Yes, but they do endorse abortions.
Yeah, well, they do, but they also make their positions very clear that they want to bring about better medical services for the disadvantaged. They want to work for reduced medical rates. They want to cut down on insurance fraud.
Yes,
now, these are all things that you back.
That is not the point.
It is the point. You've got a lot in common with this group. With the possible exception of the abortion issue, this group's position is just exactly the same as yours on every single medical issue. In fact, the way this thing is written, it's almost incidental that they are in favor of pro-choice. That's not what this lobby's about. And it's certainly not why they're backing you.
It's late. I better go.
Dan. Don't go.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, sure. Hi, Daddy.
Hi.
You're early.
Yes, I suppose I am.
Well, now, would this be by accident, or is this part of the master plan?
Plan?
Yeah. You didn't happen to come by a little bit early so that you and I could have another one of our talks, did you?
How would I do something as sneaky as that?
Yes, you would.
Yes, I would. Yeah, I thought that before we go to dinner, we could have a little chat.
A chat? Oh, how quaint. Now, what would we chat about? As if I didn't already know.
Oh, no, you don't.
Oh, no, you don't. I don't want to hear one thing about Von Sumner. Let's talk about Dan Myers.
Oh, come on, please, let's not.
I think you should know that Dan and I are getting serious.
Oh, Courtney, not on an empty stomach.
You should be happy for me. I am.
Well, your mouth says one thing, but your eyes say something else.
I meant what I said, Dad. I am happy.
Fine, fine. Then you won't mind my telling you that Vaughn is also very happy these days.
Really?
Yes. And if you live to be 1,000,000, you'll never guess why.
What do you mean by evil forces?
You know what I mean. Spiritual forces.
No, I think you're making this thing a lot bigger than it really is.
Isn't your hand cramping up during surgery? Isn't that a big thing?
It was all psychological. Vanessa planted the idea in my mind. My subconscious ran away with it. That is why my hand is the way it is.
It still hurts, though, doesn't it?
No, it's eased up a bit.
But if it was purely psychological, it would be just fine right now, wouldn't it? Ben, listen. When Vanessa was here, I was angry. And it wasn't just a natural anger. It was something that rose up from deep inside of me. And it wasn't because I was facing someone I didn't like. It was because I was facing something that was against my spirit. I know that woman is working knowingly or unknowingly with forces that are directly opposed to our faith.
What, you mean the devil? Why don't you just come out and say it?
All right, I will. Yes, I think that the forces that control Vanessa Fazan are satanic.
All right, Lori, look, I don't deny the fact that there's evil in the world, but calling Vanessa satanic, that's a little extreme, don't you think?
No, I don't. And she's shown that by everything she's said and done. Not only to you and me, Ben, but to Brian and to Nancy. What other explanation can there be?
Vanessa's a very powerful woman. She's not only good at manipulation, she has a knack for planting subconscious suggestions in people's minds. That's how I explain it.
I can't believe that you're standing there with a crippled hand. A hand that God healed, and you're not seeing what's going on.
All right, you're right. I do believe that this hand is healed. I believe God did that. But I also believe that his power is stronger than any power Vanessa may have, regardless of where that comes from.
And I believe that too.
Okay, then that is why I believe this is psychological, not spiritual.
But that's exactly what Satan would want you to believe. Because then in that way, you wouldn't focus on where the real problem is. Ben, I believe God healed your hand, and I praise him for it every day. But don't you see that Satan wants to rob you of that victory? And as long as you refuse to recognize it, you're just leaving yourself wide open. And this could just be the beginning.
You're sounding like a television evangelist. Sorry.
No, I'm sounding like I'm telling the truth, and you know it. I'm worried about your attitude, Ben.
There's nothing wrong with my attitude.
Fine. Then let's pray over your hand.
It isn't necessary. My hand's going to be all right.
Do you see what I mean? Why won't you pray?
Because I still believe that this is a psychological problem, not a spiritual one.
Ben, for weeks now. No, for months. I have been trying to ignore what's been happening to you. But I can't keep quiet any longer. You've become spiritually blinded. You're refusing God's grace and power in this and all aspects of your life. Don't ignore the love that God wants to give you. Don't do that to yourself, and don't do it to us.
Okay, I'll bite. What has Vaughn so happy these days? Tina Brubaker?
No. Religion.
Religion? Mm-hmm. What game is he playing now?
I don't think he's playing a game. He was very serious when he told me about it.
And you believed him? Yeah. Oh, come on, Dad. You know him as well as I do. There's got to be something behind this.
Well, I don't see what else it could be.
I do. He is going to say that divorce is against his religion now, and he's going to contest it on that basis.
Oh, no, I think you're really misjudging him this time. Vaughn was very sincere.
Vaughn, sincere? That's laughable.
Look, he says he's found God. But Well, maybe he's changed. People do change. I've seen enough changes in you the past few months.
Yeah, well, whether it's true or not, it doesn't mean a thing to me.
Look, no matter how your relationship works out with Vaughn, you're still going to be involved in the business with him.
So?
So it might be a good idea if you met with him to find out if you think Vaughn's different.
Very clever, Dad. You are determined to see me and Vaughn together, aren't you? I told you, the man in my life is Dan Myers now.
Look, it pays to know your business associates, their strengths, their weaknesses. Because if you don't know theirs and they know yours, they could take advantage of you.
Now, you don't think Vaughn would go and do something like that? I mean, especially now that he's found God.
But it wouldn't hurt for you to meet with him on a business matter.
I'm not interested.
And I am not particularly comfortable having a business partner who spends his entire lunch hour reading the Bible.
So tell him.
Well, I thought you could do it better than I could. I mean, it would seem less like a business thing and a little more civil.
Civil?
Yeah.
I will be civil to Vaughn when this divorce is finalized. I tried to be civil by having the marriage annulled. And what happened? It looks like I was the problem. Never again.
Well, maybe it is just a phase.
It is. It'll pass.
Dave, this is politics. You gotta play the game.
Harold, if I win this election, it's going to be because I've convinced the people that I'm the right man for the job, and not because I bowed to the pressures of some special interest groups. I don't want to owe any favors.
In that case, Dave, I think you better consider dropping out of the race.
Are you serious?
Dave, when I signed on as your campaign manager, I thought you had about the same amount of political savvy as Kate did. You were married to her enough years.
Does this mean that you're disappointed in me?
Disappointed? No. You're a man of integrity, the kind of man I want representing me in the government. But this is a political race. You can't expect all of your contributors and the people who support you to back you on every single one of your issues right down the line. Yes. It's just not practical.
But I don't want to compromise.
Government is compromise. Politics is one big old compromise.
Yes, but...
But what? Dave, just do me a favor. Go to Washington and talk to these people.
All right, I'll talk to them. But if they favor abortions, I can't have them supporting me.
They're going to want their money back then.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
And where do you suppose we're going to find the money to give it back to them when we've already spent it?
I don't know, from some other interest groups.
Such as?
Well, what about the Responsible Citizens movement?
We haven't heard a peep out of them since that $50,000 check that kicked off the campaign.
What about private contributors?
They're coming in slow, steady, but on the low side. Maybe we could talk to Preston Carpenter.
No, I'd rather not.
Why not? I'm sure he'd be happy to make a contribution.
Yes, but I'm on the relocation board of his new company. And if I accept a contribution from him, it might seem like some kind of a payoff. Besides, Carruthers is on the board, and I don't want to put Preston in a compromising situation. Now, all I want is the trust of the people.
Well, I guess you'll have their trust, but that's about all you'll have come November.
Does this mean you're deserting the sinking ship?
No. No, it doesn't mean that. I guess you'll hear a lot of complaining from me. But I'm in this thing with you all the way to the end.
Thanks, Harold.
Ben, have you heard what I said?
Of course I did.
And?
What do you want me to say?
Well, has anything I said gotten through?
Lori, I've had a very difficult and frustrating day. The only thing I could think about when I left the Bedford was how great it was going to be when I got home. And now that I'm here, what do I get? A dissertation on spiritual warfare.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean for it to come out that way, but I had to say this.
And on top of that, you accuse me of being spiritually blind.
Ben, I said it out of love. In fact, my love for you is stronger than it's ever been. But I had to tell you the things that I see. Ben, I see a pattern that you don't.
And what is that?
All right, for all these weeks you've been coming home now, more frustrated and more bored from the Bedford than you were from the clinic.
Oh, I told you I'm not satisfied at the Bedford anymore.
I know, but it's more than that, Ben. Look, you spent all that time justifying why you went to the Bedford was because it was strictly a professional thing.
And it was.
Was it? Oh, Ben, really? I mean, you said that you could do more good and be closer to God there than any place else. But are you? Ben, if your hand has regressed, what will you do at the Bedford?
I'm not sure. Diagnostic work, I guess, or maybe administration.
The same things you were running from at the hospital. Hey, we're back where we started, and that's good, because there's no place better to be, to ask for God's forgiveness and to start all over again.
I don't know about starting over. You are right, I don't enjoy being at the Bedford. But I really don't believe it was wrong for me to go there. And I understand, and I love you, because I know you just want to help me, but I am not spiritually blind, and I'm not unusually vulnerable to evil spiritual forces.
Ben, I'm not going to argue with you, but I just want to tell you something. Our protection is not in our talents or our intelligence, but it's only in the power of God and in the power of His name, nowhere else. So I'm just going to be praying in the name of Jesus.